Welcome to another video with Elite Battler. As you might already tell, I'll be using my voice to commentate on my battles. I hope that this will enhance your experience with the channel by helping you understand what I am doing and why. Anyway, I'll be covering 10 battles today instead of 5. Okay, in these battles, I'll be using Shadow Machamp. So in this case, I'm leading with it. So Machamp into Drifloon, that's not a great lead for me, so I'm going to safe swap into Gengar here. And they end up actually going to Poliwrath, which is actually a pretty good matchup for me. So I'm gonna bait because they almost always shield because Gengar just does so much damage. Okay, and they're probably gonna soon throw an Ice Punch here, right? And then it's a pretty weak move, so I can easily live it. Yeah. So now I'm gonna go for the Shadow Ball. Well, actually, I'm gonna first shield, and then I'm gonna build up a little energy because they just threw, and then I'm gonna throw the Shadow Ball. If they shield, that's not great for me, but at least I built up some energy, so I might be able to get to a Shadow Punch. So I'm gonna throw the Shadow Ball. They actually end up no shielding here, so I'm gonna win switch advantage. If they come back into Drifloon, I'm actually able to get to this move, which is pretty good for me because they either shield or it does a lot of damage. Yeah, but unfortunately I'm getting farmed down. So I'm gonna go into Bomb Snow here because since I want switch advantage, I got this matchup, which is really good. So then I no shield because it's better to no shield and Shadow Ball than get baited with an Icy Wind because of the debuff, and they actually end up quitting. So they probably had something weak to fighting or ice. Okay, into the second battle. So their lead is Abomasnow. So this is actually this is a really good lead for me because I'm dealing super effective damage with my counters and cross chop. They go into Galvantula, and that's actually pretty bad because I don't have like good answer. So I go into Abomasnow because at least that was probably a mistake. I should have went to Gengar because now he can throw these lunges which debuff my attack and are super effective. And they do it and then it's coming from a Galvantula which has a really high attack, so they just do a lot of damage if I no shield it. So I'm gonna throw this Weather Ball. It's debuffed, so it does like barely any damage. Only like 25% or something. So another one, it actually doesn't KO, which is really bad because now they have a lunge here. So since this is Ultra League, I'm able to live it on the Abomasnow. So yeah, I do. But now I'm like twice debuffed, so this Weather Ball won't do like it'll do very little. And then I'm getting farmed down, which is really bad because I only have one shield, and Shadow Abomasnow can do a lot of damage, especially to Shadow Machamp because Shadow Machamp is really glassy. So this actually ends up being an energy ball, so it does a lot of damage, almost KOs, and they make like a few mistakes here. So they probably shouldn't have swapped out into this, and second, they shouldn't have done the wild chart right here because it actually allows me to farm it completely down. So yeah, they probably should have thrown a Thunder Punch or at least built up more energy, but I think they were just afraid of me throwing a Shadow Punch and then not wanting to give up a shield. So I farmed down, I have a ton of energy, and I'm just going to throw these 2 Shadow Punches at it, and then I have a Cross Chop ready, so this is pretty much game. If they no shield a Shadow Punch, it's almost going to KO. So even if they like have a move ready, I win CMP because Machamp has a higher attack. Machamp has a higher attack than Abomasnow. So even if they had 2 other balls here, they don't win. So I'm just gonna throw this cross chop here, and that's GG's. Okay, into the third battle of the first set. Okay, Machamp into Swampert. Okay, that's okay. So I think I'm just gonna stay in here. And then just play it out. I try to get an extra counter here, but it doesn't work, so that's not good. That means he's going to be able to outpace me to the second Hydro Cannon. So he gets it after 4. Now, but they actually switch out, which is really good for me because now, both Abomasnow and Machamp have really bad matchups against Toxicroak, but Gengar is like in an okay matchup because he does have super effective Mud Bombs. But then it's my best matchup overall against Toxicroak, so I'm happy to see it here rather than anywhere else. I was able to get that shield back, so now we're in even shields. I think I actually get another shield here. Like, I don't think this would KO. Yeah, it wouldn't have KO'd. But probably with these Shadow Claws, I would have. Yeah, by now I probably would have. So yeah, I let this go, which might be a mistake, but I know I have a Crush Up ready. So, and I don't want to like to get like double Mud Bombed or something because I wasn't counting my energy there. It doesn't KO, but I'm able to KO after this one counter. So if they come into like yeah, they're out of shields. So and I have one, so I'm in a pretty good spot here. I throw this Crush Off, it doesn't KO. I think I try to catch a Hydro Cannon, but they actually switch out. So that's pretty bad because the Scab will resist everything. So we'll still be able to do like a lot of damage because the bombs like these weather balls do add up though. They do add up. See, they're already like at like 30% health, and this next one will get really low. But so that's why they throw here. So I'm just gonna let it go because they easily have two moves. So if I shield one, they're gonna use another. So then I just try to. I think I shield and try to farm this down, and then I think it perfectly works out. So because I don't have the energy right now, and they have a lot of energy on Somber, right? They already have like at least one Hydro Cannon ready, but since I win CMP, I'm able to just throw this Crush Up and win this game. So it worked out like perfectly there. Into what I think is the fourth battle here. Okay, into Goulet, that's really bad for me, especially because it's also bad. It's pretty good. It has a pretty good matchup against Abomasnow and Gengar as well. So Gengar is like my second best answer, and it's a decent safe swap here. Safe swap. So and then I throw Shadow Ball. They actually end up shielding, but I really was hoping that they didn't shield because then I would secure myself switch advantage, and then at least my Abomasnow stood a chance against the Goulet. But it was like kind of like CMP there. So they just chose to throw it away. So that's really good because then building up extra energy would be really bad for me. Because they throw it away. So I know this is a Hydro Cannon, but they probably should have at least built up to the Sludge Wave. Even if they didn't have it, even if they had like an Earthquake or something, they should have at least built up to it. So I'm trying to farm up a lot of energy here. I don't think a Weather Ball would have KO'd. So and throw it. And then I'm actually getting really low here. So I'm gonna build up to like almost 100 energy to like 96 or something, and I'm gonna throw this Weather Ball. So yeah, like now I have a lot of energy, so it should be good unless they have like a Steel type. They have an Ampharos here, so I'm gonna just switch out right away. And then since Machamp is like it's just like has such a high attack stat, and like this would definitely KO. This Rock Slide would like pretty much KO, especially because it's Shadow Blade. So then I forced them to shield here, and then for some reason they like made this mistake. So like they do win CMP, so if they chose to throw, they would have gotten it off. But for some reason they didn't like throw there. Maybe they didn't know how to move, even though I built up a lot of energy. So now this is pretty much game. I have two shields, and even if they did throw, then I would have lost CMP, but still gotten off before they got a second move off, like a second Leek Blade. So then I would have only been down one shield, and then this Ampharos probably only gets to one move, so I'll just shield that, and I would have won anyway. So it didn't really make a difference. But as you can see there, Machamp like building up energy really came through for me there. Into the next battle. Champ into Dragonite, so this is not great either. So I think I switched safe swap into Gengar again. Yeah. And then they actually go into Galarian Stunfisk, so this is an XL Galarian Stunfisk too. So then I just go straight for the Shadow Ball because usually Gengars carry Sludge Bomb, and then that would be triple resistant, so you definitely wouldn't throw into Stunfisk. Galarian Stunfisk. So, and then I know I live this Rock Slide. G-Fist doesn't have that high an attack. So I should be able to get to at least a Shadow Punch. Yes, I am able to. I don't actually think this would KO, even with an extra Shadow Claw. But they actually end up shielding here, so that's really good for me. So at least I came out with a shield, and I'll be able to farm down with Machamp here. But I make this mistake here. So I'm not sure how much energy they have. So I think they got to an EQ here, but yeah, I don't think did they? I'm not sure. But it's a Rock Slide, regardless if they even had energy or not. So that's not great. But I'm in an okay position here because at least I have energy. So if this Dragonite comes back in, I can Rock Slide and draw shield or KO. But since they always shield, I'm just gonna bait with the Crush Up here. And then I think they end up shielding. Yeah, they do. And I'm just gonna go for this rock slide. I'll just shield this. I should be able to outpace them since I built up all the energy. Oh, actually no, I switch out here and I try to build up later. But I actually have a Meganium, so Meganium can only throw resistant moves here. So I think they threw right away, so they're 6 away. Or they threw after 7. I don't remember. So then they got like another. So I think they're 5 or 4 away. But just to be safe, I think I throw like after 3, just to be safe, just in case like I miss something or lag or something. So I'm just gonna throw just to be safe. And then this game's anyway over. This just Dragonite has to throw, and then if it does, I'm just gonna rock slide it, and then I'm 2 away from this weather ball. That's what this is. Next battle, I think it's the second set first battle. So we do Gengar, so that's not great because if they triple resist my counters, because Ghost double resist and Poison single resists, and then since it's like we're synced here, so he's gonna get it right before I do. And I thought I tapped on it, but then for some reason it didn't register. So yeah, I thought I threw, but I'm actually able to deny the Shadow Claw, so he didn't get an extra Shadow Claw through. So we're about on the same amount of energy. Should be, I think. And then since I have a rank 1 0 attack, so then I just shield this, because if I shield it, then I might I'll just tap on this, and then I might get a shield or not. And then if they shield, we both die at the same time. So I'm just not gonna shield, and then try to farm down with this. But I only get 3 counters despite it being triple resisted. And having energy, at least I have like a little energy, which is pretty good. And I like the switch perfectly is ready right when they throw. I was trying to switch there, and then at the moment it was perfectly timed. But then they actually have a Scavalier here, so that Scavalier, which is absolutely horrible because it resists everything Abomasnow can use. So this is what happened before, but these 3 almost KOs. It doesn't KO right away, but 3 weather balls almost KOs Scavalier. As you can see there. But they just farm me down. So now they easily have 2. So I'm just gonna throw it away and then get the shield or KO, because I want to eliminate its energy if possible. And then I have to shield this because it's probably an aerial ace. It's actually a drill run, but it would still do a ton of damage. And then they have it, but I know. And then since they have drill run, I'm actually able to survive this. I think I counter down here. Oh yeah, and they switch out, but in So this won't KO. That's a problem. Oh, and then actually did great. But I don't think it would have mattered. It would have only done 2 more damage. Yeah, and then it just gets a move. Yeah, so it's just too much there for my Shadow Machamp to handle. Of set 2. Machamp into Apolxcore. This is a good lead. So they probably switch out. Yeah. And then this is also a good matchup, so they probably have 1 counter in the back, and this is their safe swap or something. So then I think I make a mistake here. I don't have a good answer to this besides Machamp, but then I kind of have to switch Machamp out because I don't have a good answer to Empoleon. But I probably should have just stayed in, to be honest. Because now they actually sludge with me, because I always used to shield, but then they always baited, and then obviously the one time I no shield, they actually use a sludge wave. And I also thought I would have lived it better, but I don't. But I'm able to get it pretty low, which is also not that good because now I get less farm. So I'm just looking to counter this down, and if they throw 1 Snarl, I'll be able to counter down without them getting a move, even if they have it. Because counter's a 2-turn move, and then Snarl's a 3-turn, and then they need 2 turns to get it off. So I do 1 counter, and then and then another one, and then they only have a 1 turn. They need at least 2 turn. It's a turn is half a second. I might explain in a future video if you don't understand. Put it in the comments if you want to do. Okay, so yeah, Gengar has a good matchup, so I switch into that, and I have no energy and I want to build up. So then I throw the Shadow Ball. So the reason I do this is because I want to either get a shield or just straight up KO this thing. So because it has energy and I don't want it to have to shield a Drill Peck. But then they're able to get a little farm, but it's not that bad, just only 2 vine whips. And I should be able to be fine. I should be fine here because I have 2 shields and they only have 1. Despite them having like a little energy. So they throw a frenzy plant, and I am just building up here. And then I realized that like if I throw a rock slide and they shield, then it'll like a cross shot will anyway or KO after a few counters. So it's just worth it to throw it. And then they know their only win conditions, so they no shield a cross shot. So then they actually do that, but then they just end up getting countered down afterwards. So it worked out either way. Okay, into the next battle. Champ into Apolxcore, so this is another great lead. And then they have a Somber, so I have an Apolxcore, so it should be fine here. Except they can Sludge Wave, and it does a lot, obviously. But otherwise, it's a pretty good matchup. I think they bait here. Yeah, they always bait whenever I shield. Like the moment I no shield, they Sludge Wave. I'm gonna throw this Weather Ball. It wouldn't actually KO, but it would put really low, and I'm also threatening the energy ball since I have enough energy. So I think they have enough for a Sludge Wave here, so I shield because they usually like bait once and then they go for the nuke. So then they look like they lagged a bit, but not that big a deal. And then, yeah, it actually end up, like, safely tying, I think, but it's only a Hydro Cannon. I was just trying to build up because I knew they can Sludge Wave, so I'm just gonna go to 100, so I'm at 100, and then I throw this Weather Ball. If they shield, I'll just build up a little, and then throw another one, because I'm already like at 2. Yeah, I'm at 2 now. So I'll be able to unload a lot of Weather Balls against this, opposing Apolxcore. I'll be able to get really low if they decide to like build up a lot of energy. So they kind of have to throw here. Yeah, so like only 1 more would KO. So they have to throw. And I have on Machamp. But unfortunately, since they built up like an energy, 2 Weather Balls KOs on Machamp, and then like Shadow Machamp, and then like 1 gets really low. So then they actually have a Tokus, which is, well, since it has a shield, that's not great. So I think I go straight for the Shadow Ball, which is probably a mistake because even if I threw Shadow Punch, it would have probably eventually KO'd with like a few Shadow Claws, like some Shadow Claws. So that was kind of a mistake. And then they get to it right here, and I'm not able to get to the Shadow Punch, which is really unfortunate. But luckily, Machamp has Rock Slide, and then like that's what makes Machamp so good. Like even if it has a counter, it can still like do a lot of damage, or like is super effective against it. Counter cross shot and rock slide's a really good combo, and that is like, so that's obviously can rock slide, and I'm at 1 HP here. I was perfectly able to counter down without being a power stone down. This is the 4th battle of the 2nd set, so there's 1 more after this. Okay, this is a pretty neutral matchup. We're not doing super effective or resistant to each other, so I think I try to get this extra counter. Or no, I just try to throw after. So I do, since whatever, fine. So I let it switch through, which is pretty bad. And I try to switch here, but it lags, and then they don't end up throwing. So this is really bad because now they have enough. They definitely have enough for a Focus Blast. Yeah, so I shield, and then I think they switch out here. Yeah, and they actually have a Scavalier, which is really bad. So I'm just gonna keep on spamming these Weather Balls. Try to even maybe KO it. Or worse, I just want them to throw, honestly. Because they can aerial ace my Machamp or drill run my Gengar, so the energy on this Scavalier will be really dangerous. So I don't throw it away because I want them to throw. I want to like pressure them to doing so. So then they do. But it doesn't KO, so I'm gonna throw this. This was definitely a mistake. Well, maybe not, but yeah, because I thought like maybe I'm able to somehow KO it, but then I just realized that like these power stones will do nothing in this. So I tried to switch out there or something because I want to like play aggressive and KO it, but it actually died. But I was still able to ride it away, like swap out, and eliminate all that energy. So then that's what ultimately like put me in a really good spot here. And then they actually no shield this. So then I just switch out and delete it. And then this Ampharos doesn't stand a chance against 2 full Pokemon, pretty much full Pokemon. So that limiting that energy allowed me to win that game. Okay, into the last battle, I believe. neutral matchup. They usually carry Counter, Leaf Blade, and Night Slash. So then, here's what I'm thinking. Like, they won't see the video, obviously. But, here's what I'm thinking. I think it's gonna be like, it's like, it might be Night Slash. Like, I was thinking, like, right after I shielded, it might be a Night Slash, and they're just trying to get the boost or something, and I know I'm gonna shield, and it actually ends up being a Night Slash. So that's not great, but luckily they didn't get the boost. So that's okay. And then I know I'm gonna lose CMP again, so I don't throw right away. And I just wait for them, and then I know they probably Night Slash here, but I would probably KO, but they actually Leaf Blade here. So then I just shield and farm down, and I'm able to, I'm probably gonna get the shield back, unless they have like a Glade or something. So I have a Swamper. And then I'm only 2 away, I think, two or three away from this next cross shop. Yeah, and I have to force the shield. So let's cross shop here. Yeah, I force the shield, and then I switch out here just to, because I don't want to get farmed down and then have this Somber gain a ton of energy. So I'm pretty much looking to sack this gang right here, which might be a mistake. Yeah, but I think they actually have a Snorlax, so what they could have done was just switch it and look me all the way down because there's nothing I can do, but they might have been scared for of the Focus Blast or Sludge Bomb, so it kind of made sense. But this is a really tough spot for me right now, because they can Superpower. But they should have Body Slam then Superpower, but they just Superpower right away, which debuffs them, so that like could be a mistake on their part. So then I think I should have probably just double Weather Balled, but I thought this Energy Ball would actually KO because it's debuffed, but Snorlax is too tanky, even when it's Shadow. So I'm able to throw this next one, and I think I made a mistake here, which cost me the game. So I should have swapped out, but I underestimated how much energy they had. So then, yeah, they actually got to it right here, and then I'm getting my charted down. So I probably should have just swapped out and then sacked the. Oh, and we actually knew we Simo KO, so at least they didn't win, right? So, oh, actually no, one more battle. I'm going to CCOFTW. So actually, this is like it's not. I don't know if I would say famous, but I've seen him on like this video. He's somewhat like famous to an extent. He's been on the leaderboard. Like I saw him on the leaderboard once. So they have a this is not good for me. For some reason I just glitched there and then I died. That should not have happened, and I would have been able to get that to the second Shadow Punch to force shield or KO it. So that actually just like made me lose this game. Actually, like if that worked out, I think I would have won. Actually, so I do this and they actually live with like barely any health. So now they have like 2 close combats ready. I didn't get a power shot through there, so they're able to get a second one off. So this is really bad for me. And I'm in like a really tough spot here. So a little bit of KO at least. And then they have and then they have Gengar. And my only win con here is if like I bait and they actually shield. But then what they're just gonna try to do is just put it all on Machamp, and their Machamp can probably just sweep my team. So if I Rock Slide here and get farmed down, so then I hope that they for some reason just shield this cross shop. But they do not. And anyway, get it great, doesn't matter. Yeah, and I can't get, there's no point in throwing the cross shop. And then they're just gonna Sludge Bomb here. So yeah, that might, like, I think that lag in the beginning ultimately cost me the game. That is the end of my battles. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, share, sub, and ring the notification bell. If I get 20 plus likes, I will release some more videos with Shadow Machamp. And as always, feel free to comment or DM me on Discord if you have any suggestions on what Pokemon or team you would like to see me use in a future video.